And welcome back, everyone, to Box Office Report today on the 6th of July, 2025. Not surprisingly, I think I actually did get the box office right this week for a change. I think I got the order right and everything. Jurassic World Rebirth comes in with $91.5 million for its opening weekend, not including the July weekend, 4th of July weekend opening on Wednesday. F1 made our 26, a little over 26 million, dropping about 54%, which is right around where you might think a movie like that would drop. How to Train Your Dragon made our 11 million, dropping only 43.9%. Elio made 5.7 million in its fourth week. I mean, it's not dropping badly. There's that. And then 28 years later, made our 4.6 million for the number 5 spot. So Jurassic World Rebirth, this doesn't inherently look like a good number to open up on. But keep in mind several things. One, we got the worldwide total right now, 318 million, just the start. The Jurassic World movies and Jurassic Park movies have always done well internationally because there's nothing really offensive internationally to any of the markets that would take them. It's ironic too when you actually look. I just looked up the numbers. It had the lowest opening weekend of the Jurassic World movies, but a higher opening weekend than any of the Jurassic Park movies. That I think is kind of interesting. 91 is not bad, all things considered, because this film's actually on a 180 budget. That's still, I mean, it's 180 million, and you got to factor in there's definitely more than 100 million in marketing on this, probably about 150, unless I'm wrong. Like, why don't we look this up right now? See what we can see. Jurassic World Rebirth, marketing budget. Do we have a marketing budget on this? Marketing budget. Let's see here now. Okay, so yeah, the production budget was 180 million with a substantial but unspecified marketing budget, according to the Valley or Variety. With less than 250 million production costs, Jurassic World Dominion, the production still significant. Partnership with two global marketing. So yeah, okay, they spent right where I actually thought. Right around 150 was what the speculated marketing budget is. Which would mean then you got a film made on around $330 million, a lot. Which then means if you do the math, you've got to hit just under five. If you hit half a billion, you're golden. After that, you're printing money at that point. So the question is, right now, is this a good opening weekend, and will this film make its money back? Okay, let's go with the second question first. At 318 million worldwide international, just on the opening weekend, I have no doubt this movie will make its money back. Against a $330 million production and marketing budget, studios take roughly a third. So you're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of about 500 million, 490, whatever. It's already well over halfway to that. The international's going to throw in more next week and probably the following week. Not to mention, this is still going to make money even with Superman coming out this week. So I have no doubt this will make its money back. It will be profitable. It'll be successful for Universal. They'll continue on with the Jurassic franchise. Is this a good opening weekend, though? It's roughly half the budget, which means it's not a bad opening weekend. If you're under half the your marketing budget or production budget for your opening weekend, you're struggling. I say, especially for big movies, like really big movies, if you can open to at least a third, you are okay. If you can open to half, you're sitting good. And if you can open to above half your budget, you're sitting pretty. Right at the half means it's an okay. It's a solid opening. But it's kind of telling, actually, about where we are kind of with the Jurassic franchise as a property. Because you look at the original Jurassic World. Actually, why don't I just get the Jurassic World movies up? I got this open, so I might as well use it. Let's see here. Jurassic World. Okay, if we look at I don't have to look up the original Jurassic World. I know for a fact that was a record-breaking opening weekend, like $208 million. Okay, Jurassic. Come back here. Boop. Let's go back down. Okay, let's do that. Let's turn that into, there we go, Jurassic World. We've got the other two Jurassic Worlds. Whoops, I spelled world wrong, but it found it. Now, Fallen Kingdom was the next one. Now, that did take a drop. It had a $148 million opening, which is still fantastic. Still about over half its budget. And then Dominion came out, which I believe did have a higher opening, about the same actually, which is still great, fantastic, and they both still want to make $1 billion. So this did take a $50 to $60 million drop from the previous two entries. And I think it's just because the movie quality suffered. Like, they were still entertaining. They were still good, fun, popcorn, cheesy flicks. But they lost something. They did lose something along them. Most people would agree that they lost something. They started to go with dumb plot points. Every time it's like, hey, we're going to make a hybrid dinosaur. It's just a different variation on the same damn thing. And I know where they were going with that idea. It's like, oh, no, this is what we would really do. I'm like, yeah, but this is not what the audience necessarily wants to see. When we think hybrids, we think the D-Rex or the Mutodon or something like that. We think something wacky and scary. I remember having some of the toys as a kid where they were hybrids. I think one was like a weird plesiosaur cobra hybrid thing. Like, that's kind of what we want. We want hybrids and mix and match and mutants. Not this crap. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the Indoraptor as a design. It's a better design, honestly, than the Indominus, quite frankly. And the Indominus isn't bad or anything. It's just, like, when you think hybrid, this is not quite what we were thinking. And then you go into Dominion, which worked really well in concept for a book, not a movie. Hey, we want dinosaurs. Here's bugs. Like, what the hell? Like, no, bad. So even someone like me who will defend movies like that to a certain degree, I'm like, no, bad, not done well. So I think this is a case of similar, but not exact, to the Transformers issue, where the franchise got buried into the ground by shitty quality, and finally the audience has caught on. Here, it's less that it was like super bad, and more that we just weren't getting what we wanted, and we stopped trusting these films. So, still, because of that, you would think it would have a worse opening. A $91 million, $92-ish million opening weekend is still, honestly, perfectly good. Now, granted, we have a little film called Superman coming out this week, which is probably going to really put a kibosh on this thing's momentum. But we'll see what it does. Maybe it'll luck out. But speaking of movies that are, dealing with the consequences of new releases, F1 made $26 million. I'm, by the way, looking at these numbers for the first time. $293 million. Great, wonderful. This film's made on like $250 million. It had like at least $100 million in marketing. Like, this film needs, at minimum, like $500 million just to be considered okay. I said it before, I don't see this film making this money, this kind of money. Like, again, international, goes to show what I was saying. Formula is far bigger in international markets than it is in the States. So that is something that benefits it. It is. But, man, you'd think with, Brad Pitt in there, Javier Bardem, it's a race sports movie, you could have maybe done more, but I mean, as it stands, look, it's not profitable right now. It's a good movie, too. It's a really fun movie, but I don't know if it was worth that budget. See, with Tom Cruise, I can at least understand why people can justify how he can get so much money for his Mission Impossible movies. I don't know how they justified that much money for this movie. I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. They still clearly globetrotted. They went around the world. They had the cars to race, but $250-300 million movie, I sometimes Warner Brothers is probably going to be taking a loss on this, which, look, they've had their wins with Minecraft and Sinners, about they're getting due for a financial loss. How to Train Your Dragon, on the other hand, is also doing Universal very well. Another $11 million this week for a right now worldwide total of $516 million, which I think, hold on 1 second here, puts it above. It's already above the first one. I think it's above the third one, which made less. How to Train Your Dragon. I think the third one made the least amount of the group. No, I mean, apart from the original. How to Train Your Dragon. Boo doo 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 doo. Anyway, yeah, it made $539 million. So it's currently on its way to become the second highest grossing on the series. I mean, yeah, it's in its what, fourth week? I want to say fourth, fourth week. Yeah, so it's fourth week. It's already at, where are you? 516, basically $17 million, point nine, and it's got to make what, another 20-ish $million to beat that. Oh, it's got that in the tank. Oh, it's got that in the tank easy. So yeah, I mean, and I think this speaks again to how much people love this franchise, but also the fact that they were able to actually do a fairly competent remake in live action, which is not easy these days for these animated to live action remakes. So I mean, look at Snow White, didn't do well. And again, it's not Disney, but I'm just saying animated to live action. And I've watched animated to live action remakes that I thought were actually pretty good. I like the remake of, or the live action remake of Aladdin. I thought not Snow White, Sleeping Beauty was not Sleeping Beauty either. Little Maleficent was fine. Cinderella. I thought Cinderella, I liked the Jungle Book, but also I did not like either the Alice in Wonderlands. The second one's a little bit more tolerable. Sacha Baron Cohen definitely kind of makes that a little bit better, but like Beauty and the Beast, I liked it a bit. I liked it all right when I first saw it, and the more I've seen it, the more I'm like, oh no, this isn't good. I do not care 1 ounce of squirt of piss about The Lion King. Sadly, I don't. I've seen reviews and stuff like that, and I'm watching, like, no, I wouldn't enjoy this. I'd be bored as hell in this. And like I said, I really liked the live action version of Stitch they did recently. So yeah, I'm glad to see we're getting some remakes that actually do hit the audience in the right way. Oh, and I like The Little Mermaid too. Elio, man, 5.7 million. Did you at least cross 100 million today, this week, Elio? No, you did not. Oh man, Disney dropped the ball on this film. Disney dropped the freaking ball. And again, it's a broken record, but it bears repeating every week just to understand how badly this film's doing. You know what this film is? It's their version. It's their next Strange World, that one where that Disney Pictures animated film, not Pixar, where they went inside the planet, the world, and it turns out it's a giant creature. Like, that's what this is. That's another one of these types of movies where it's like, it's not bad. It's just, I didn't think it wasn't like amazing or anything, and it was not advertised well. I've said this before, the marketing. By the way, someone said that they had to change the film. Like, I don't think that's what I have no evidence suggests that's what they had to do. I think what happened was that because of the strikes, they had to delay this film. Beyond that, though, because as far as I know, there was no changes made to the film in terms of story or anything like that. It is the story they had, but man, you did not sell that well. Like, this kid neglected by his aunt. No, that's not what's been happening here. Beyond that, though, not well marketed and delayed. I honestly think, take the lackluster marketing out of the equation. So just what happened with Ballerina, the delays from the strikes killed this thing. Killed it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, where it got released was not a good time to be releasing it. It was not. Again, I said this last week, but you have Stitch and How to Train Your Dragon still in theaters. And both are making way more money than this thing made. Like, it was just a bad time of year to be putting this out. This probably would have, I'm not saying it would have succeeded, but it probably would have done better in a February or a March or something like that, when there weren't really a lot of animated films out. So, yeah, I mean, yes, she would have had Dogman, but Dogman did well enough on its own that I don't think that thing would have been in trouble. It is what it is. 28 years later, another 4.6 million, 125 million. Again, I believe this film has to hit in the neighborhood of like 180. Now it's looking like it's not going to do that. It's probably not going to be like completely dead in the water or anything, but it's going to probably be a loss for Sony. It's going to be, yeah. And look, I was not the target audience for this, and clearly it kind of shows that, though, while this franchise certainly has its fans, unlike 28 or Final Destination Bloodlines, which had a gimmick you could really exploit and play with and have fun with, these movies aren't fun. They're not that type of movie. And yeah, I would imagine that when it's the same issue that other movies like say Blade Runner 2049 had. It's not a fun movie per se. It's not a bad. I mean, I didn't like it, but I could see the quality in filmmaking going in there. But you did not warrant the budget on that. I'm not certain that this film warranted the budget on it. 90, like you probably. I'm not saying you'd have to go like half it, but maybe like 30 million less, around 60 million, same marketing budget. You probably could have gotten away with that, probably. But I don't know. That's my take on it. And look, it's not like it's dead in the water or anything. It's just it didn't really make it. It's making less, or not making less. It's losing less every day. Let's put it that way. Meanwhile, Lilo and Stitch is, I think, currently the highest-grossing film of the year. Yep, it actually surpassed. Oh, it not only did it surpass Minecraft, it's about $27 away from the $1 billion club. Oh, see, I got under the assumption that it was not going to make $1 billion, and it only made about 3.8 this week, so I'm still hesitant to say it can make $1 billion. But look, it beat Minecraft by a nice little chunk. It's currently the highest grossing film of the year. Niza 2 does not count for anyone who, and I always have to, every time I say it's the highest grossing film of the year, yeah, that film don't count. So it's, so, the problem though is we have Superman, Smurfs, and Fantastic Four back to back to back, all of which are family friendly. 28 to 27, 28 million more to go. Look, I'm not going to say it's going to hit $1 billion, but I'm not going to say it's possible again. And we've now gone from I don't think it will to it's got a legit shot now. I don't know how much left it's got in the tank, but it's got a legit shot. And I'm glad, of all the movies to maybe make money this year, let's actually look at the worldwide right now. I'm glad Lilo and Stitch, it is a very nice and charming film. So yeah, Lilo and Stitch surpassed Minecraft. Currently your top 10 is Final Destination's Bloodline, F1, Jurassic World Rebirth, Sinners, Thunderbolts, Captain America, Brave New World, How to Train Your Dragon, Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, a Minecraft movie, and Lilo and Stitch. Again, Niza 2, we are not counting in this for explained reasons. Speaking of which, we just talked about Mission Impossible, $576-ish million, still not close to breaking even. Still not close. And it's not. It's just not going to break even. And again, good movie. If it had been on maybe 50 to 100 million less, it might have actually been able to break even. Or at least rationalize having maybe a weaker, lesser marketing budget or something, but it is what it is. The materialists made our $1.3 million, $45 million. It's not going to make its money back either, but it's probably one of the more, it's made more than other A24 films. I'll give it that. And then Ballerina, you must have seen her, 725, 107.9, so $108 million. Again, that came and went like a fart in the wind. Man, that sucks. That really sucks for it. Because it deserved far better. It really did. And again, I've gone over why I think it failed, or at the box office at least. Apparently, it and Thunderbolts are lighting up the VOD spectrums? Places? Whatever. Hansel? But that's really the box office of the week. Not too much surprise, except for maybe how that Jurassic World didn't even make $100 million in its opening weekend. But again, take the July weekend out of the equation, July 4th weekend. But otherwise, yeah, not surprised by Elio, not surprised at 28 years later. Okay, you know what? I'll say I was surprised by Lilo and Stitch a little bit, that it's that far, that it's that close to $1 billion. Last I saw, it was like more like closing on a 950. Like I thought it was going to beat Minecraft, but I didn't realize it was going to take another jump like that. So it's now got a shot, legit. And How to Train Your Dragon was a nice little like, oh, it's made over 500 million now. Good for it. You kidding? So there you go. Now, I don't think any of us are going to argue that Superman, which is beginning a lot of freaking hype, In fact, I don't know if box office. Rotten Tomatoes, because I know the reviews are allowed to come out now. I think they dropped their embargoes now. So does Superman have a rating right now? Let me see. Do up and up some more. Does Superman have a rating? Let's find out. Not watch at home. I want. Okay, so does Superman have a rating yet? No. I'll check it to be safe. Superman. Okay, Superman. Or we're gonna have to wait till like Tuesday for the embargo to drop. Because they've already given a lot of social media reactions, like not like anything in depth, but social media reactions. Okay, Superman. I want this one, 2025. All right. So do we have anything on this? Okay, so there's no score on it right now, and I'm gonna guess no verified audience on it right now either. Look, I've heard mostly the people reacting. I've heard mostly just nothing but like kind of like praise for the movie. There's been like a few people that didn't like it, but you're never gonna please everyone. But I mean, as far as I know, it's tracking from possibly like $100+ million opening weekend, which great for it. But it's going to be Superman. I also think it'll be Jurassic World after that. I do think F1 will be number 3. Probably How to Train Your Dragon, and then probably Elio. Honestly, it's going to probably be a repeat of this weekend. Just stick Superman in number 1 spot. But I digress. Maybe it won't be. We'll see. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy, and I'll see you next time.